It all began with a moment that didn't look anything like a sports ceremony. The cameras were already rolling, the lights were sharp, and the noise of the crowd outside the Kennedy Center carried the kind of energy you'd expect at a film premiere. But this wasn't Hollywood. This was the 2026 FIFA World Cup Draw. And the man stepping onto the red carpet wasn't an actor, a singer, or an athlete. It was the President of the United States. The scene immediately felt surreal, almost theatrical, as Donald Trump walked side by side with FIFA President Gianni Infantino, moving through the flashing lights as if this entire moment had been designed just for him. People expected a polished ceremony, maybe even something grand, but they didn't expect this level of spectacle. What should have been a simple sports ritual was suddenly carrying the weight of global politics, celebrity energy, and a storyline no one saw coming. For a moment, even the crowd seemed unsure how to react. Was this a political moment, a sports moment, or a publicity moment disguised as a sports event? Trump's red carpet stroll made it immediately clear that this World Cup draw wasn't going to be remembered like any that came before it. The Kennedy Center looked more like an award show venue than the stage for the announcement of group matchups. Everything from the lighting to the welcoming reception hinted at something bigger. And that sense of bigger only grew stronger when the unexpected twist of the night finally hit the headlines. What started as a routine ceremony suddenly turned into a moment wrapped in symbolism, controversy, and intense public debate. And once people realized what was coming next, the atmosphere inside the venue shifted into something almost electric. Because before the draw began, Infantino took center stage with a message that caught almost everyone off guard. He wasn't there to announce a match, a schedule, or a technical update. He was there to present a brand new award, one that had never existed in FIFA's history. The FIFA Peace Prize. Football unites the world. And in its very first year, the recipient chosen by FIFA's leadership was Donald Trump. The announcement traveled through the crowd like a spark. For some people, it felt like a historic moment, a symbolic show of unity on a global stage. But for others, it raised eyebrows immediately. The idea of giving a peace-themed award to a sitting U.S. president, especially one known for strong rhetoric, polarizing decisions, and deeply debated diplomatic strategies, felt complicated. And that complexity stirred the kind of curiosity that keeps people glued to the entire ceremony. Trump accepted the award with a level of confidence that matched the evening's theatrics. He stepped forward, took the trophy from Infantino's hands, and delivered a short, upbeat speech. He called the moment one of the greatest honors of his life, and while his supporters applauded loudly, the reaction across the world was far more mixed. For many, the question wasn't whether Trump should receive an award. The real question was why FIFA would choose to debut such a symbolic honor in this way, on this night, at this event. The World Cup draw was meant to highlight teams, matchups, and sporting excitement, but almost instantly, that excitement shifted into political analysis, commentary, and speculation. It was the kind of twist that transforms a routine event into a global talking point. If you looked closely, the tone of the event told its own story. Everything, from the staging to the presentation to the timing, felt curated to amplify the moment. Infantino stood smiling beside Trump, praising the idea of football as a unifying force and hinting that global peace often begins with dialogue. But behind the carefully chosen words, people noticed something else. A growing pattern of FIFA stepping into political territory. Some viewers wondered whether this award truly symbolized peace, or whether it was part of a broader effort to cultivate alliances, shape public relations, or influence how global audiences view the organization's leadership. And quietly, within sports communities, journalists asked the same question. Was this still about the World Cup, or was football once again becoming the stage on which global politics could play out? Critics didn't hold back. Social media exploded with debates within minutes. Commentators brought up past controversies surrounding FIFA's leadership, questioning whether this award blurred the lines between sports neutrality and political endorsement. Observers pointed out that FIFA has historically been criticized for mingling with political figures, and this new award seemed to cement that perception. Others questioned the timing, noting that several global hotspots were still facing tension and uncertainty. Had Trump's administration truly achieved the kind of peace-building impact FIFA was implying? Or was the award more symbolic than factual? Rumors spread online with people suggesting the prize might have been planned long before the ceremony, possibly aligned with diplomatic gestures or behind-the-scenes agreements. Nothing was confirmed, but the speculation only made the moment larger. Meanwhile, supporters pointed to Trump's recent efforts to engage with foreign leaders, push for de-escalation in conflict-heavy regions, and arrange high-profile meetings. They argued that the award reflected diplomacy that the public didn't always see. But even supporters admitted the timing was bold. Introducing a Peace Prize in front of an international audience of millions, right before revealing the matchup lineup for the world's biggest sporting event, was a move designed to spark conversation. And whether people viewed it positively or negatively, the goal was clearly achieved. Everyone was talking. And even though the ceremony eventually transitioned into the traditional draw segment, the atmosphere never returned to normal. The focus had permanently shifted. As the draw unfolded and the matchups for the 2026 World Cup took shape, analysts and commentators tried to pull attention back to the actual event. The tournament, shared by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, was meant to celebrate unity across borders. It was supposed to be a triumphant moment for North America, but in the shadow of Trump's red carpet entrance and the unexpected awards ceremony, the draw itself almost felt secondary. The star wasn't the matchup of nations, it was the storyline that had already taken over the night. The tensions, the excitement, the reactions, it all played into a growing trend of football becoming increasingly intertwined with global narratives far bigger than the sport itself. Behind closed doors, many within the football world wondered what message FIFA intended to send. Was the Peace Prize meant to become a tradition? Or was this a one-time gesture designed for maximum publicity? Some insiders quietly suggested that Infantino saw an opportunity to tie FIFA to diplomacy, hoping to rebrand the organization as a global peace influencer rather than a sports governing body constantly fighting off reputational challenges. Others argued that the move risked alienating fans who wanted football to remain separate from political figures. And while no official answers surfaced, the speculation only added to the event's mystique. Trump, for his part, left the ceremony with the confidence of someone who knew he had just shaped the news cycle. His red carpet entrance had already gone viral, and his award acceptance speech replayed on networks worldwide. The narrative was no longer just about a president showing up to a sports event, but about a president becoming the centerpiece of a global ceremony that wasn't originally meant to revolve around him. The symbolic power of the moment was undeniable, whether people agreed with it or not. As the night wound down, one thing became clear. This World Cup draw would be remembered far differently than any that came before it. Football fans would talk about the group matchups, of course, that analyze strategies, predict outcomes, and celebrate the excitement leading into 2026. But the memory of Trump's red carpet entrance and the sudden unveiling of a peace award would linger long after the sports conversations faded. For millions of viewers, the ceremony raised deeper questions about where football is heading, who influences its direction, and how global events may continue to merge with the world's most popular sport.